Hey guys, Fox here, and today we're going to be talking about why Dallas Cowboys kicker Brandon Aubrey has officially become the best kicker in the NFL. This past weekend was pretty much an official changing of the guard from the best kicker to the new best kicker. Of course, the former best kicker a lot of people said was Justin Tucker, and then some people tried to say it was Harrison Butker. But after this past weekend, it's pretty clear it's Aubrey, as both Tucker and Butker or both ended up missing different kicks, as well as a couple of other guys that are usually in the mix, like Jake Elliott missing field goals. So it's officially Brandon Aubrey, and we're going to talk about that in today's video. Now, I've already done videos on Aubrey in the past, so I want to keep this brief, but of course we have to start off with why he actually got his NFL gig. Now, we can talk about his soccer career, but really it's his time with the United States Football League with the Birmingham Stallions. When he was in the USFL, he played there 2 seasons and was one of the best kickers in the league. He was an all-USFL kicker in 2022, as that was the year that kicking was absolutely horrific in spring football, and he was really the only guy that was really great. And even then, his 18 to 22 was nowhere near as good as it would end up being in this year. Now, his other stats, or really either NFL year, but his other stats in 2023 were incredible, and if it wasn't for Luis Aguilar having an obscene 8 of 8 field goal game, Aubrey would have been all-USFL kicker twice. But after his 2 years in the USFL, he was able to parlay his success into a spot with the Dallas Cowboys. And that led to an unbelievable 2023 NFL rookie season. Look, his first year in the NFL was something that, if you're just a kicker and you had this as a season, you would be ecstatic. This was his rookie NFL season. In his first ever year in the NFL, remember, this isn't somebody who was in a training camp and didn't make it. This is somebody who had never been on an NFL team at all. He went 36 of 38 total field goals across the season and 49 of 52 extra points. He was the all-pro first-team kicker, the best kicker in the league, according to the AP. Pro Bowler, obviously. And it's the other stuff he won. He was a special teams player of the month twice. He was a guy who was a Sunday Night Football player of the game, and more importantly, he broke a ton of records. Now, the one at the bottom we'll get to in a little bit, but the rest of those NFL records are just insane. He made 36 consecutive field goals to start his career. He made 10 straight 50-plus yard field goals in the regular season in 1 year. He had the most kickoffs for touchbacks in a single season, which a lot of that was because of the fact he was great at doing that in the USFL, where getting touchbacks was actually far more difficult than in the NFL. His highest field goal percentage by any rookie of 94.7% was insane. First player to make their first 10 field goals in their first 3 games in the Super Bowl era, and more importantly, the one that's pretty much most famous to a lot of people, he was the first player to ever kick 2 59-yard plus field goals in a single game. And that was against the Philadelphia Eagles on December 10th. What can I say about these stats? This is just absolutely insane. He had a touchback percentage of 90.8. He was somebody whose field goal and extra point percentage was over 94. He was the best kicker in the league last year. I know some people tried to argue he shouldn't have been the first team because, he missed a couple of extra points here and there. He was perfect from the distance kicks. 14 of 14 on 40-plus yard field goals is remarkable. And while he wasn't fully perfect in the playoffs, in their one playoff game they had, the fact is he was the best kicker in the league last year in a pure statistical sense. But of course, people don't always say that that's enough to become the best in the league. You have to do it for more than 1 year. Well, so far, 3 games into this 2024 NFL season and the preseason, he's the best. Look, as of right now, he has kicked exactly 1 field goal that was less than 40 yards. That's it. His other 9 field goals have all been 40-plus yard field goals, with the most important one being what he did this past weekend. He kicked a 65-yard field goal. And this wasn't no game-winning kick where they just said, you know what, let's try it. This was a first quarter, we know this guy's going to make it type of kick. That's the second longest of all time. No one had ever kicked a 65-yarder. People had kicked 64-yarders, and of course Tucker hit the record 66-yarder in 2021, but no one had made a 65-yarder, and Aubrey did it. Now, the thing that's most impressive about that is that he's already kicked a 66-yarder technically twice. Now, one of them didn't count because it was in the preseason, so, it's a preseason game. They're not truly, counted as statistics. And the other one was nullified because of a penalty on the Cowboys, which he did that a couple of weeks ago. So Aubrey has really tied this record twice. And what's more impressive is the fact that he can kick from 70. Okay? When he kicked that preseason field goal, that viral preseason field goal, it was good from over 70 yards. The fact is, everybody pretty much knows that it's a matter of time and more of a matter of if, not can, or matter of when, not if, he can kick a 66 or 67 yard field goal. The fact is, Justin Tucker's record is going to be broken this year in all likelihood. Aubrey is essentially Jake Bates' leg, but accurate. Right? Jake Bates for the Detroit Lions, his biggest issue in the UFL this past season was the fact that he was absolutely inaccurate. I mean, especially during the second half of the UFL season, he was missing a lot of kicks that he usually would have made, but his leg is insanely powerful. Aubrey has that powerful leg where it's good from 70, except he's actually accurate. Because again, in the regular season to this point, Aubrey has now made 15 of 15 50-yard field goals. Think about that for a second. And even 40-yard field goals. He made 4 of them last year on 4 attempts, and he's made 4 of them this year already. He is the best player on the Cowboys, and a lot of people are starting to realize that. Yes, he might not be flashy because he's a kicker, but even then, he's usually one of the guys trending every week because he usually does something crazy. He is the most reliable player on the Cowboys and is overall the best player on the Cowboys right now, and pretty much any Cowboys fan will tell you that. For the past, year and a half, who's really been better than him? I mean, CeeDee Lamb, maybe. Micah Parsons always falls off in the second half of the season. But Aubrey, he can kick it from anywhere. And so that's pretty much why he is the best kicker in the league. Now, of course, you do have the argument of, what about the other two guys? Like I said before, to most people, I get some people would try and make arguments. Titans fans will swear Nick Folk, and then Eagles fans Jake Elliott. Really, the argument was Justin Tucker and Harrison Butker. Now, when you look at Butker and Tucker, we're going to date back to 2021. Now, when you look at Justin Tucker, 2021 was his last, what I would call, truly great season. In 2021, he was a near 95% kicker. He went 35 of 37. He was a very solid distance kicker. He was 13 of 15 on 40 to 49 yard field goals and 6 of 6 on 50 yard pluses. And that was the year he did kick that 66-yard game winner against the Detroit Lions. After that, there's been a noticeable decline. Look, in 2022, his field goal percentage dropped all the way down to 86%, which is almost 4 points less than his career average. And in fact, his career average is only at 89.9 because of this year, really. And when you look at his distance kicks, he was 4 of 5 from 40 to 49, which was, again, very similar to what he did the year prior. But his 50-plus yard field goals dropped dramatically, going 9 of 14. Yes, they had him kick a lot farther field goals, but he wasn't making them convincingly. Then, this past year in 2023, the problems got worse. Now, his 40 to 49 yard actually did get a little bit better, 11 of 12, really solid, but 1 of 5 on 50-yard field goals. His longest kick was a 50-yarder. And then this year, he's missed a kick basically every game. I'm pretty sure he actually has missed one every game. He is 0 of 2 on 50-plus yard field goals and 2 of 3 on 40 to 49 yard field goals. I talked about it in a video like last week or something. If you were to put what Justin Tucker's done basically this year and last year onto a new rookie kicker or, a journeyman kicker, there is a very real shot they would have been released. And that's not a joke. In today's NFL, you need to have a kicker that can actually kick 50-plus yard field goals. And at this moment, because especially considering the last 8 50-yard field goals, Tucker's only made 1 of them, there is a legit question to be asked of if Tucker can even kick 50-yarders at all. When you're missing the amount he is, it's not just it was, a mistake or two. It's can he actually do this? And so it's a question that has to be asked about Tucker. The fact is, at this moment, it's pretty tough to say he's even a top 3 kicker in the NFL. And that's not to be a hater, it's just to be a realist. Because again, he can't kick long field goals. And yes, it is still insanely respectable and insane that he's been as good as he has been on shorter kicks, right? On these past 4 seasons, as you can see, 9 of 9, 11 of 11, 10 of 10, 2 of 2 on 30 to 39 yard field goals, and very similar stats from the 20 to 29. But again, a lot of kickers can do something similar to that. It's not like they can do it. Just look at Harrison Butker, who has religiously missed, basically averages out to like 1 a year on 30 to 39 yard field goals. Now, Harrison Butker is somebody else who is considered the best kicker in the league. And this is, I think, entirely due to him being on the Kansas City Chiefs. Look, in 2021 and 2022, he was not really a great kicker. Now, 2021, he was a solid kicker, but 2022, he was borderline bad. A 75% field goal percentage while going 3 of 7 from 50 plus and then not being 100% accurate on those shorter kicks, that's not that good. Now, he did have a powerful leg, right? He kicked a 62-yarder, and then in 2023, he kicked a 60-yarder. Now, 2023 is where he started getting that traction of being considered the best in the league. He went 33 of 39 total field goals. He only missed 2 kicks that were in that 30 to 39 range. He was perfect from 40 plus, which is insane. A total of 12 of 12 from 40 plus yard field goals. And he was perfect on extra points, which is something that Justin Tucker has almost been his entire career. Now, with this season so far, Butker's been good. I mean, he is in total 7 of 7 on field goals, but he has missed an extra point, which he did this past weekend. That single missed extra point, I feel like, eliminates him from being the best kicker in the league. Because as we talked about with Brandon Aubrey earlier, Aubrey has not really kicked any short field goal. He's kicked 1 short field goal in his 10 field goals. All of his kicks are distance kicks. They're 40-plus yard field goals. Butker has kicked 3 through 3 games. Aubrey's the best kicker in the league right now. It is impossible to find an argument against it. Again, it's not like Butker has been a perfect postseason player, so you can't use that argument. Justin Tucker can't hit 50-yard field goals, so he's not in that argument. And then so it's who else? Brandon Aubrey was the first-team All-Pro kicker last year, and at the moment, if the season ended, he would be first-team All-Pro kicker again. And so with that, a spring football player is the official best player at their position. Not in an accolade way, but in a, are they the best in the league, right? Much like how when Mahomes isn't first-team All-Pro, he's still considered the best QB in the league, right? That's Aubrey right now for kickers. And again, you can't really argue it. There's nobody else who's really that close to him. Now, knock on wood that this doesn't jinx him, but as of now, Aubrey's been this like unjinxable kicker that just keeps making everything. This is somebody who will break the NFL record if this keeps up. But we'll have to wait and see. So overall, that'll do it. This has been ZomFox. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We're on the way to 900 subscribers. We're less than 35 away from that. So we're trying to hit that milestone, maybe hit 1,000 by the end of the year, as I am doing a giveaway there. If you've been a fan of the channel for a while, think about becoming a community member. And as always, guys, have a great night.